Hi, welcome to my channel Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. In this video I'm going to teach you how to knit this yarn over cable. It's very easy to do. If you've never done cable before, you're a beginner, this is the perfect cable to begin with because it's a 3-stitch and it's really easy. And I'm showing you in a flat piece. And my next video I'm going to show you in the round, just in case you're a beginner and you want to do a hat with this stitch. It's very easy to do, and I hope you guys like it and give it a try. And here is the list of material you're going to need to make it. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe and click on the little bell, that way you get notification each time I upload a video. Remember, I make my videos in Spanish and English. If you receive a Spanish video and you want to see in English, go to the main page of my YouTube channel, then you'll find the English version in there. Also, I used to upload my videos 8 o'clock in the morning in Spanish, 8:15 English. I start uploading Spanish at 8 and English at 9 o'clock in the morning. That way I give a chance to my Spanish subscriber to receive first the Spanish, because sometimes they get confused and they always get the English instead of the Spanish. Because for this stitch I'm gonna use this medium 4 100% acrylic yarn, and these needles, they are 5mm, and I'm gonna work back and forth. And you're gonna need a row counter. This stitch you can do it flat or in the round. In this video I'm gonna show you flat, in the next video I'm gonna show you in the round. You can use this for a hat, you can use it with a straight needle if you don't know to work in the round with circular needle, or you can do a hat circular. To make a flat panel, the stitch is multiple of 3, and you work in a background of reversible stitches, and you repeat 4 row repetition. It's very easy. So for mine, I'm gonna cast on to have 3 reversible stitches on each side of the yarn over cable. So let me find the end, and I'm gonna leave a tail long enough to cast on 27 stitches for my sample. So you need for the cable 3 stitches, plus you have to have more stitches for the back around of the cable. So I did a slip knot, and I'm gonna start casting on my 27 stitches. Once you have your stitches and you do a knot, you're gonna work for this one, because it's a sample piece. I'm gonna do 2 rows of purl to start with, but if you're making a flat panel hat, you will do the 1x1 rib or the 2x2 rib for the border, and then after you will start with row 1 of the stitch. You don't have to do these 2 rows of purl. I'm just doing this 2 row purl in order to have a base to start the stitch. So if you're doing, for example, a scarf, you can do a few rows of purl and then start, or just 2 rows and start. If you do a blanket, the same, you can do a wider border of purl and then start the stitch. And if you do that, you'll have to have the same in both sides of the blanket. That way it's nice and even with a wide border on each 4 parts. So I'm gonna start with 2 rows of purl stitch, and I don't count these 2 rows because this is just to create a base for the stitch. After I do these 2 rows, I will start with row 1 of the stitch. So I will measure here when I'm done those 2. So for row 1, I'm gonna do the background stitches. There are 3 purl and then I will slip 1 purlwise, net 2, and pass the slip stitch over those 2 net. So I'm going to purl 3, so you will do the amount of background stitches that you did, minus 3 purl, 1, 2, and 3. You're going to slip stitch 1 purlwise, yarn to the back, net 2, and pass that slip stitch over those 2 net, and that's the stitch. You're going to purl 3, or the amount of stitches that you did for between the stitches, 1, 2, and 3, a slip stitch purlwise, yarn to the back, net 2, 1 and 2. You're going to pass over those 2 net, that slip stitch. And in this row we are decreasing 1 stitch, and in the way back in the next row we're going to increase again that stitch. So again I'm gonna purl 3, a slip stitch as to purl, like you're gonna purl there, but you just slip, and net 2, and pass that slip stitch over those 2 net. And like that is how you're going to continue. Now purl 3, the stitch, purl 3, the stitch, and so on until you have all the we're gonna work in row 2, and again I'm gonna do my 3 stitches. You're gonna purl those 3, and now for the motif you're gonna purl 1, yarn over, purl 1. So these 2 that are together here, the ones that you did net and the other side, you will purl 1. You will do a yarn over. Since the next one is a purl, you have to bring the yarn over all the way, wrap around your needle and bring it to the front, and purl 1. And that's what you're going to do in this second row. Purl 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now purl 1, yarn over, and purl 1. And it will be easier if you say 4 purl, yarn over, 5 purl, yarn over, 5 purl, yarn over. At the end you'll finish with 4 purls. It's easy to see which one are the one that you will have to do the yarn over in between, because these 2 they are together in here. So like that you're going to continue in row. I finished that row. Now row 3. you're gonna purl those 3, and then the 3 stitches for the motifs, they're net. So you're gonna purl 3, net 3, purl 3, net 3, and purl 3 at the end. And the only place that you change the stitch is in those 3 stitches. The rest are purl always. Purl on the right side and purl on the wrong side. So purl 3, yarn to the back, net 3. Net the first one. The next one is the yarn over, and you come to the front and you net that one and net the next one. And that's what you want to repeat until the end. Purl 3. And yarn to the back, net 3. Like that, you're going to continue. See, that's the yarn over. Like that, you're going to continue all the way until the end of row 3. Now we're going to work on row 4, and it's all purl. All the way until the end. The base stitch plus the 3 stitch for the motif. It's a purl row. And those are the 4 row repetitions that you do for the motif. I will finish this row and I will show you again. Now we're going to start with the repetition of row 1, and that's 3 purl, a slip stitch purlwise, net 2. Pass the stitch over those 2 net stitch like this, and that's the repetition that you're going to do. You don't see the stitch as much now, but as you work you will see more the definition of the stitch, but just at the beginning. And you see it's a very easy stitch to do. So net purl 3, sorry, a slip stitch purlwise. You keep the yarn in the front, you just pass the stitch over, yarn to the back, net 2, and pass the slip stitch over those 2 net. And like that, you're going to continue all the way until the end of this. I wanted to mention that I'm gonna put my row counter in 0 again because I'm starting the repetition of row 1 and I don't want to miss which row I'm working. And if you're making a hat, you can do this and you can guide yourself for the length of the hat by measurements, not by the rows, okay? Now I'm gonna repeat row 2. And really this is a purl row. The only thing that you have to do a yarn over in between those 2 net stitch from the row before. So 1, 2, 3 purl, 1 more purl, that will be 4, yarn over, and purl 1. And in total will be between the yarn over and the next yarn over 5 purl. That's my 3. And then that was 4 and 5. Yarn over, and again you will do, you see, if you count the purl after yarn over, will be 5. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you do your yarn over and 5, and so on, and then you'll finish with 4 purl, the same way that you started. That's an easy way to keep track. But if you don't want to count, what you do is just in between these 2 stitches, you don't know that you have to do. I'm going to work a repetition of row 3, and again you're going to purl your 3 stitches, and you're going to knit 3. So this time it's 3 and 3, 3 purl, 3 net, then yarn over, you come to the front here, and you're going to knit a stitch and knit the next one, and purl 3. And knit 3, and like that you're going to continue all the way until the end. That's the yarn over, you come to the front and you knit and knit, and now purl 3. Now the repetition of 4 is knit. Now the repetition of 4 is purl. You're going to purl all your stitches all the way until the end. So it's a very easy stitch. I finished the repetition of row 4, and like that you're gonna continue working until you have the desired size for the project that you're making. I'm gonna do like 3 more repetitions to show you the stitch. Remember, row 1 you will purl the 3 stitches if you're doing 3 like me, and then you will slip stitch 1 purlwise yarn to the back, net 2, and that slip stitch you pass over those 2 net, and then you purl 3, and you'll continue with the repetition until the end. The repetition of row 2 you will purl 3 plus 1, and then you'll yarn over, purl 1, purl 3 plus 1, yarn over, purl 1. But if you count for that row, it's easier to keep track by you're gonna purl 4, yarn over, purl 5, yarn over, purl 5, yarn over, and at the end you will purl 4. That's the easiest way to track row 2. For row 3 you will do 3 purl, 3 net, 3 purl, 3 net, 3 purl, 3 net until the end, and row 4 is all purl. It's very easy. So I'm gonna work those few more motifs, and I will show you how it look like with 5 repetition or 6, I don't know. And remember, you're doing something like this, just a sample, you will finish with the same rows of pearls at the end, and depend on the project you're making with the stitch. Well, I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 repetition, and I did a row of purl and the way back, that way you see it with the row of purl. So if you done a project and you want to finish exactly the same way that you start, you will do another round of purl, and you will cast off a binder and a purl row. With this you can make a baby sweater. It will be gorgeous, and a hat. It will be, you know, a really beautiful set, because it's really easy to do. This is like a beginner cable. If you never done cable before, you can do this, because it's 3 stitches and it look really nice. And in the next video I'm gonna show you how to work this stitch in the round, just in case you decide that you want to do a baby hat, or for a kid or an adult size hat with this stitch, even a neck warmer. Well, I hope you guys like this stitch, and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already a subscriber. And if you make this or any project with this and you want to send me some pictures, you can do it through my Facebook page, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido, or my Instagram, Ruby Net Crochet Tejido. Please share my video with friends and family, that way you help me grow here in YouTube. I wish you have a beautiful day. Bye.